Hey, happy Monday. Thanks for joining us on this Monday afternoon for your lunchtime forecast. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we just had some technical difficulties, and I forgot my clicker. So I'm going to walk over here, grab my clicker. In the meantime, let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, go ahead and put that in the comments section. Let us know where you're watching from today. Are you watching here in Oklahoma? Are you watching from a place that is expecting storms today? Here are your big headlines. We do have a low risk for hail today. High wind is definitely going to be a bigger risk, but hail is in the forecast. It's a very, very low risk. Francine is upgraded. That was the big headline this morning. We now have Tropical Storm Francine. It's been over 20 days, almost 20 days since Ernesto, and now we officially have Francine. It's been a very, very quiet last few weeks, so it's nice to see some activity in the Atlantic. And on the other hand, temperatures are warming up here. I hope you enjoyed that fall-like weather because we do have warmer temperatures in the forecast. Before we get into your full forecast, I'm going to talk about our Texas Roofing Conference. It's this week, September 11th through the 13th. If you go to the Texas Roofing Conference, stop by the Hail Trace booth. Booth 140. We do have exclusive deals for the show for annual plans, so head over, see Frank, he'll be there. That's again September 11th through the 13th in Irving, Texas. And if you've already got your tickets, head over to our Facebook page. We have an event. We want to know that you're coming, so hit yes that you are coming on that event. We'd love to see you. All right, yesterday we got a few hailstones just outside of Los Angeles. I don't think these were terribly big. We also had some flooding reports in this area as well, but it's a place that we very rarely see hail, so that was pretty impressive over there. Other than that, a few flooding reports across the U.S., but for the most part, we've had a pretty quiet weather weekend. Pretty quiet today as well. What we're talking about really is that tropical storm in the Gulf. You can see we've already got some watches and warnings for that in place. Pretty dry across most of the U.S., maybe a few isolated storms if we're lucky across the northern plains, but the better chance for storms will be where you can already see that rain across New York today. We will be expecting some of those stronger storms up in the New England states. Few showers and storms farther down to the Gulf, and just a few spotty showers up in the north and west and in the northern plains there. But other than that, we're pretty dry. It's still a gorgeous day across Oklahoma. I hope that you got out this weekend and got to enjoy some of that really nice weather. 78 is what we're seeing right now, 79 up in Kansas City, 85 in Denver, but you can kind of see some warmer temperatures start to creep back in here. I do think those temperatures are going to warm back up above average as we head into the next few days, but we'll enjoy the 70s right now. We'll have lunch on the patio. We'll enjoy the nice weather while we have it, because we only get a week or two of fall in the southern plains here. Then it's either really cold or really hot. Feel like temperatures. We've got some pretty low humidity right now, so it's always nice whenever the actual temperature matches the feel like temperature. 79 here in Oklahoma City, 79 up in Kansas City, a little bit warmer out in Denver, as I mentioned, at 82. What about your unstable air for today? Well, we've got some unstable air across the northern plains, but such a very low chance for storms to happen here today. I want you to ignore that and look farther off to the east where we have in New York. You can see some unstable air just coming in off of the lakes. That is where we're going to watch for your most promising chance for showers and storms today. Some of those will go severe. And then for that hail, once again, it's looking a little bit more impressive across the plains. However, you know, we can't get any hail if a storm doesn't form, and it looks like right now we're going to stay pretty dry across this area. Very, very low chance, if any, across New York to see that hail today. Unfortunately, while we have been pretty quiet over the last few days, it's going to stay quiet at least today and tomorrow. You can see those showers and storms anywhere from the Gulf, just hugging the state line from Louisiana all the way to the Florida Panhandle. Showers and storms, as we mentioned, across New York as well. And then if you look very, very carefully, and truly you have to, it's kind of like I Spy. Can you spot a storm here? It's going to be few and far between. Maybe an isolated shower or storm today. However, I do think that most of those will stay non-severe. Okay, let's zoom down into the map here. Let's see exactly what we're looking at hour by hour in each location. Here we are across the Northeast, the New England states here. You will see some showers and storms in New York today. Most of these staying showers. Some of them will be on the stronger side. Only a few of these will go severe. Okay, so isolated severe storms. I think what we're going to have here, this is not updated. I apologize for that. I'll update that later. I think what we're going to have here are some stronger wind speeds up to 60 to 65 miles an hour with very small hail. What I have for our largest hailstone today is the size of a nickel. Yes, so very, very small hail here. Also, I think that we're probably going to stay under this threshold here, 65 miles an hour. I think that we're probably going to go about 50, 55 miles an hour with maybe one storm in this area today, most likely not going severe. I think we're going to have a very, very low chance for any of those storms to go strong today. However, could we see some rain? It's possible. It's going to be pretty isolated. So I have a very low chance to see some smaller hailstones across the northern plains today, and then another low chance across New England states like New York this afternoon. We're keeping that severe risk very low today. So we're talking about a low risk for hail, a very extremely low risk for tornadoes, if anything at all. That flooding risk is going to be a little bit more promising farther down to the south near Louisiana and into Florida. And then we've also got some high winds from some of those storms out in New York. So for the most part, our storm chances are pretty quiet today. Here's your wind forecast. I think if we do get anything, it'll be wind. So I have upped the risk level here from that low to moderate, anywhere from Buffalo to Rochester to Waterton, all the way farther back out to the east here on the eastern side of the state. Again, I said 60 to 65 mile per hour wind gust for some isolated storms over here. And then a very low chance for some even weaker wind gusts. I think we could see about 50 to 55 miles an hour for any of those isolated, maybe just like one in this entire area, storm in this area. Forecasted max hail size, as I mentioned, the size of a nickel. So if you want a severe storm, you could get quarter-sized hail or larger if we stay hailstones below quarter-sized, nickel, penny, or marble. That the National Weather Service does not deem it severe. But I do want to bring you farther down to the south. So while we don't have a ton of strong to severe storms today, we have a lot going on in the Atlantic, or rather the Gulf, where we do have that next chance for a hurricane developing over the next day or two. So within the next 36 hours, the National Hurricane Center does say that we're expecting this tropical storm to upgrade to a hurricane. Hurricane Francine is what we're watching for here. It's been a very, very quiet last 3 weeks, and we are expecting to see this develop into a hurricane. But right now, we're still watching for that flood risk across the Gulf here. So anywhere from like southern Louisiana all the way down to Florida, we're watching for some flooding issues today. Even southern Texas getting that flooding issue, a level 2 on a scale of 4. And then for just some isolated showers and storms that are happening along the Four Corners, we could also get that flooding issue for today. But let's talk a little bit more about Francine. I think that's my next, almost my next graphic. We have a high pressure system farther off to the west. This is what's going to be pulling in some warmer air into Oklahoma, Texas. This is also going to start to push everything back off to the east. So we're talking about this low pressure system farther up to the north. That's bringing in some stronger storms today. That'll be pushed off to the east as well over the next few days. And I think now we are talking about Francine. I'm just going to skip ahead here. Haha, there you go. All righty, here we go. Tropical Storm Francine. We've got the hurricane hunters out there. They're also monitoring this storm. This is actually something that we've been watching for the last few days. It has now been upgraded. We've got wind speeds at 50 miles an hour, and then we've got the movement slow to the north, about 5 miles an hour. So over the next day or two, we are expecting this to be upgraded into a hurricane. That will then expected to make landfall in Louisiana. So it's going to be a slow process here, but you can kind of see that track moving farther up to the north here. We've actually got some updated surface pressures from the hurricane hunters. So it looks like our pressure here is going down. Anytime that we see a decrease in pressure, we expect that storm to intensify. So we are seeing or expecting this storm to intensify. We've got one other interest across the Atlantic here, Invest 92. So what this means is it's something that the National Hurricane Center is watching. They name it an Invest. It starts with a number anywhere between 90 and 99, and then that letter signifies where it is in the world. L is for Atlantic. So they're watching this, they're getting data on this, they're collecting data on where this is going next, and that could be the next thing that we're watching after Francine. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. We're going to watch that over the next few days. Francine is expected to make landfall within the middle of the work week, so we're talking about Wednesday here. And then we're going to watch for that next chance for showers and storms. I know it's been a quiet week so far, but we always have meteorologists that are keeping an eye on things here for you at Hail Trace. Thanks for joining us for your forecast today. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We just posted some things here recently on our TikTok, YouTube, and our Instagram. We posted and talked about Francine earlier this morning on our Facebook. And if you're interested in any of our hail, wind, or tornado maps, you know, Francine has the potential to produce tornadoes as it comes on land through the middle of the work week. That'll be something that we're watching and mapping for you. You can always give us a call to get set up with a plan at 855-334-4245. If you don't want to talk on the phone, I get it. Email us. Email us at info@hailtrace.com or head over to our website, hailtrace.com. We not only have our maps on that website, but more information about our plans, and we have a fun blog that you can also read about different science things that are happening. We like to update that blog as well. All right, thanks for joining us this Monday at noon. We appreciate you hopping on and starting your week with us. Of course, we'll be back here same time, same place for your forecast tomorrow.